Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy May Day. Welcome back, Miniacs. Hello, Oliver. That's my dog. Let me turn down this wonderful music. This is called Child's Play from Reverb Nation, and I really, really like it. I hope you all can see me just fine right now. Let me know if you can't. I can also comment, and you can comment back to me. Right now, I'm trying to adjust everything because this is a bit new here. Hang on. They've got a new thing going on here. So let's see if you can see me. Oh my goodness. Okay, folks, they've got a kind of a new thing going on. So let's see what I got going on. There we are. This is different than when I was here on Monday. So this is kind of a new thing. I think YouTube and Facebook are rolling out their live streams differently, and they're adding new things all the time. I don't even know if anybody's watching. Last week, I was able to see if you were actually watching with me. So it does say it's live. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on the content that I have for you today, and let's talk about miniatures. The sun is shining, by the way, here in Central Florida, and the birds are singing. I know we're about to be off quarantine here, I think on Monday. So I've been busy with my quarantine, and I'm still going to be practicing some pretty safe practices. Still going to be wearing a mask in public for a little while, and going to be good about being around people. But in the meantime, while we have time, we're going to be working on this. So this past week, we had a giveaway, and we gave away a wonderful little miniature chair and couch. And this week, on Monday, I hope you can see this, I am going to be giving away this unbelievably beautiful vintage Chinese vase. It is beautiful. It is China. It's gorgeous. It's stunning. It's for 1/12. So it'd be perfect for somebody who's a real collector and really wants to do things more like replicas. I'm more representational, and this is more of an absolute replica. So I will be giving that away on Monday. The following Monday, see, I'm setting this up for weeks, folks. The following Monday, I'm going to actually go over here. The following Monday, I'm going to be giving away this sofa. Now, this is bigger than the sofa that I gave away this past week. It's not 1/12, but it is probably, I'm guessing 1/24. I'm thinking it's very, very well made. It's got 4 legs on it. It is just beautiful. And that's going to go to a happy person. These are all things that I just want to give away to friends. Just want to be friends with my other Miniac folks. So I've also posted a lot of content this week because I found some great articles and also some great videos. But the favorite video, I think, of all time is the Ruth Westheimer video, Dr. Ruth. Some of you that are younger may not have heard of Dr. Ruth, but back in our day, back in the 80s and 90s, she was a grandma that we listened to. But I did not know her whole story and her interest in miniatures and why it was so very important to her. Now, I've posted it on my page. I would love for all of you to watch it, no matter what your interest in miniatures is or has been or maybe in the future. This is really a touching story, and it's going to surprise you, I think. Some of you know that my journey was started by my granddaughter about 4 years ago. She's now 16. She's driving now. She's lost interest, but I've continued. And we have a couple mottos here at the Teeny Tiny Show. One of them is go small to enthrall. Another one is don't be whiny, go tiny. Turn your broken heart into art. And if your head won't work and your heart is broken, trust your hands to make something. So those are kind of the things that we go by here. Some of you have been seeing that I've been working on one of my cell phone box miniatures. The first time I showed it to you, sorry about the I'm kind of excited today. I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous, probably because the way Facebook has the setup for Live Producer today is different for me. But I wanted to show you what I've done on this. I think I'm getting it now. There's the camera. Oh, that was an empty cell phone box a week ago. And as you can see, it's got a sink, it's got everything in it. It's got a shower curtain. I've redone it several times over, but this is what it's looking like now. And I've got enough of these little cell phone boxes. I almost have a doll's house. So my next big thing on this, and I want to show you that, is I've got some little doodads that I've been working on. We were talking too about repurposing and not buying anything, but using what you already have in your stash in your drawers. Well, that's certainly the way I like to do things. This is not to be in any way judgmental about the way other people do things. Some people, in fact, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite miniacs today, Sherry Mance, who I got to interview and got to see some of her miniatures in her home in Kansas. She's somebody who does the architecture, who builds the structures, who builds the dollhouses and the room boxes. But then she furnishes it with absolutely beautiful replicas that she buys. So that's one way of doing it. I like to create out of nothing because I understand what it is to have a little bit of nothing. And so I like to do it that way. So on this room box today, as I work on finishing it, and do I ever really finish them? No. Sometimes because the glue we use, tacky glue, things can come out almost as easily as if it were a dollhouse where you just place things. Another thing people talk about with miniatures is, do you glue it in? Do you stick it in? Do you leave it freestanding? There's all kinds of ways to do it. Dioramas, I'm sure, mostly glued in, but honestly, things can be moved around in dioramas. So on this box right here, I've already been working on, and to be very honest, this is slow art, folks. You've heard of slow money and you've heard of slow food. Well, this is slow art. It doesn't go fast. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. If you're doing this because it's good for your head, good for your heart, and good for what ails you, then doing it slowly is actually a good thing. And now I have gotten angry when things don't glue fast enough. So my husband, when he heard me with my dangs and my darns and some more slippery slopes the other day, he brought me something called Loctite glue. Now, I've been using the tacky glue for a long time and I'm just not successful with it. I had never heard of Loctite glue, but Loctite glue is what I'm using now, and it's working really well. Hey, folks, I'm also sorry that I'm not using the camera really well. Remember, this is my laptop, so I'm doing the best that I can with that. So actually, I'm going to go this way. I think that's a better way to go. So Loctite, I put it in a little one of these things, and this comes from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be talking about Dollar Tree in a few minutes. Oh, goodness, we've got 11 minutes, and I want to talk about Sherry. I want to talk about a few other things. So what I needed to go above that little dresser, and by the way, the dresser that I had was that pizza box thingy, and my husband said, the pizza box thingy doesn't look right, and he was right, and I didn't like it, but and I was almost to the point where I was stuck with it. Now it's funny, when you go into this miniature world, and you're a miniac, things like that are important. But I trusted him. He's a builder. He's a fantastic builder. So I said to myself, I'm going to trust him. He's right. So then I built this, and that was built out of the balsa wood pieces. Hobby Lobby has these in little bags. I think they're under $3. They come in 3 different sizes, and it's very lightweight. You can cut them with scissors, or as use them with the X-Acto knife, which, by the way, I think you can get the X-Acto knife kit at Dollar Tree. Talk about Dollar Tree again in a minute. So one of your best friends in Miniac world are jewelry findings. And jewelry findings work at every size, from 1/12 all the way down to my matchbook sizes. So I had it was a bracelet. It had inserts in it. Half of them were coming out. It was very inexpensive. So I've made a mirror that's going to be, whoops, I think you can see it. I've made a mirror to go over my little balsa wood vanity and sink. And by the way, the sink is actually the depression from a McDonald's lid. I cut those out, make little plates out of them, painted with nail polish. As far as paint goes, of course, you can always use your acrylic paints, but for the size that I use, which is cell phone boxes and match boxes, nail polish works great. Boy, I'm tripping over my tongue today. So anyway, so that's going in there, my mirror, and it's not done yet. This is one of my favorite little things. I'm hoping you can see it, that I've been able to do today. Of course, I'm going to have a soap dish in there, but you can see that looks like a little makeup caddy. It's actually something that I pulled out of the sensor that my husband threw in the garbage the other day. I put a little gold sticky on it. It's already got a little curling iron in there, and some more doodads are going in there. Some more things are also going to be going on top of the shelf. It needs more, but I'm happy with it. One thing I want to talk about is, because I like to hand make my things, and because there's a bit of fancy and whimsy, and I am not skilled enough nor really that patient enough to try to do things to make it look exact or replica. I want them to have a sense of plausibility, a sense of fun, a sense of whimsy. So that was a candle that somebody had made, but I didn't make it, so I actually don't like it. So I'm actually going to take it out and put one in that I made, because I'm like that. That's what I'm like. Uh-oh, my little makeup caddy fell down. Oh, darn it. Let's, oh, there's my slippery slope. That's about as bad as I get with my cursing right now. You know what? I see other things that have fallen in here that I didn't know I had. Oh, there. Let's get that out of there. Okay, back in the, doggone it. All right, we'll get that guy later. And I see something else behind my bathtub here. I don't know what it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, that was what it was. So that little mishap is done, which brings me to beautiful disasters, things that didn't go well. And I will have time to get Sherry in here in just a minute. If not, I'm going to postpone it, because I've got this incredible house to show you and talk to you about Sherry from Kansas and her story. And I may have to postpone that till Monday, and that's okay. But I'm going to talk to you about a beautiful disaster. This is a beautiful little disaster. I don't know if you can see it. I had this great idea. A penny was just the perfect size for a tabletop for one of my cell phone boxes. But you know what's wrong with a penny? It's too heavy. I mean, everything I tried to do to glue it in wouldn't work. So that was one of my little beautiful disasters. I'm going to figure it out later. And by the way, I don't know if you can see it. Remember, I don't manicure my hands. They're raw, they're real. That's what you got. Those were jewelry findings. That's a cup. And then I took a little link and made a little handle on it. So that was a jewelry finding, another jewelry finding, and a little link, and you've got a cup. And that's how easy it is. If you're doing 112, somebody talked the other day about your bowls. Well, your blister packets, just take them out, cut them up, and you've got a nice little bowl that you can use. And I think nail polish works on those pretty well as well. That's 112 size again. And the plates, we talked about those, but somebody, I saw it the other day. This is something that you get. These are eye drops. This cuts off, that cuts off, that cuts off. And by golly, you've got a 112 squirt bottle, drink bottle, juice bottle that works in your 112 home. I made a bell. I have so many ums today. I need to go back to Toastmasters. This is my little 112th bell that I made out of earring findings. So that goes in a 112th house. We'll stick that right there. There's my ums again. That's what I've got for you today out of my beautiful disasters and my mini makes. Again, I wanted to show you about getting your background materials from Lowe's, depending on what size you use. Obviously, this isn't going to work for 112, but if you go smaller, you can always use those things. Next week, I want to talk about Fimo clay, because I've never really done it successfully, and I want to hear how you do it successfully. So everybody, that's what I've got to talk about for this week. We're going to bring Sherry in next week on Monday with her beautiful, beautiful room box that she created of her mother's kitchen. Vintage kitchen. We're also going to be doing our giveaway on our wonderful vase. We'll talk some more about Dollar Tree, all the great things that you can get at Dollar Tree. I'm also going to talk about your health, your vision, and how to do this little wonderful mini-ac activity and not get blood clots in your legs and not get arthritis. I actually stand up about every 15 minutes, do some exercises so that I don't get stiff. Well, that's all I have for you on the Teeny Tiny Show this week. Let me take you out with our Teeny Tiny Show music. And I love you all, and I appreciate you all. And we'll talk to you soon. Please let me know how you've enjoyed this. Thank you. Whoops, where's my music? Oh, I think probably I have to turn it up. All righty, folks. Bye-bye.